Hey YouTube family, it's been a very long day. I wanted to upload this morning as I was on my way to work, but I was kind of late, so I kind of didn't do it. You know what I mean? So this is part 3. I'm hoping that this is the conclusion of the second one. I'm gonna try to summarize it because like I said before, a lot of things happened in this relationship that was really crazy with this chick, you know. So basically I'm just gonna try to summarize it because it's just too many things to be able to fit into even one video, you know what I mean. In any case, let's get started. So I left off with after the second abuse, the second instance of abuse, where she basically, you know, wailed on me and I protected myself and stuff, and she cried and blah blah blah, and again begged me to stay and promised that she would change. Again, you know, she promised to change. And let me tell you something, people. If there's anything that is very common that I've realized with abusers, is that they are manipulative, right? They are master manipulators. Now, I'm not saying I was manipulated by her, because I was not. I did not allow her to manipulate me. You understand? But I could see where she was trying to manipulate me. In any case, she begged me to stay, and I stayed. But I decided that I was going to leave the relationship when the most opportune time came. You understand? And I didn't let her know. I just decided within my heart, within myself, that listen, the minute the opportunity arises, I am making an exit. And so the relationship continued. We continued to, you know, be in each other's company, you know, had sex, you know, things like that. And it was basically, I think it was in November that the third, no, not the third, I think it was the fifth, because like I said before, many more instances still happened, but it was about the fifth incident of abuse which had happened, which basically, you know, just say, yo, that was when I decided that I wasn't going to wait on the opportunity. I was just going to leave and just be done with it. Now, before I even get into this, I'm going to talk about what happened. Right? One day I just came home from work. She wasn't having a good day. She wanted to talk about the relationship. We sat down, we talked about the relationship. She said some things to me, and I can be quite an arrogant person. This is what my wife tells me a lot. However, this is through the constant harshness that I faced in life, whereas I don't allow people to easily get into my headspace, and I don't allow my emotions to easily get caught up with things. Now, what I realized that a lot of women did not like about me, and that I still love about myself, it was their inability to make me angry. It was their inability to cause me to get caught up with their foolishness. They could not easily make me move from a level-headed state into a state of emotions. Right? And this is how I have been for quite a while. I've had many girlfriends complain about this, where they feel like I'm arrogant just because I don't have an argument with them. And just because I say things like, and I do note myself to saying stuff like this. I say stuff like, I don't want to have an argument with you because you're not worthy to have an argument with. I've said stuff like that to girlfriends. Not because I'm an asshole, but just because I was not angry. And I was just not in the mood. And it was just not me. I've always believed in my life that just because you're angry, it does not mean that I need to be angry. And this came from my Christianity. This came from my relationship with God. This is what I learned as a Christian. This is what I learned from God. This type of peacefulness of being able to hold one's tongue and one's anger, and to be able to say things that even though they don't come out in a manner that is rough, it is still as sharp as it needs to be. So there are many instances where women were arguing with me and I would walk away. As I told you before in many videos, I've walked away from women just because I don't know why, but I just find arguments very foolish at times, especially if I'm not invested in it. If I'm not invested in something, I tend to walk away from it. That's just how and who I am. You understand? So she started an argument. She said many things to me. And I said to her that I'm not in the mood to argue. I just don't feel like arguing. This isn't worthy of an argument, and I'm just not gonna get involved in it. And so I guess this kind of ticked her off. It made her extremely angry. You understand? And this caused her to start wailing on me again. Now listen, this is actually a 2-day wailing process. So she starts wailing on me, and again I snapped. This time, however, when I snapped, I basically didn't hit her. I just broke something in the house with my fist. And when she saw that I broke something really, really like solid with my fist, she stopped. Because she then and there she realized how strong I was and what I could really do to her. So, you know, she laid off for me for that night. Anyway, the next day happens, and I don't remember what caused her to kind of start wailing on me, but she just starts wailing on me again, and she calls me P word, I'm a punk, I'm a PU, you know the rest of the word. I'm this, I'm that, I'm a weakling, I'm a wimp, I'm not a man, I'm this, I'm that. I'm beating the crap out of me, right? I snapped again. And this time, I fought back. This time, not to say that I pummeled her, but I fought back in a way just to protect myself. And to get her to back off. I'm not fighting to just like beat her up and stuff like that, but I was just basically done, man. I was just like, I'm not somebody's beating stick. And so I fought back. Now, people, I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing this woman has said to me in this whole situation, right? In this whole situation, after she got beat up, or just call it the beat up, right? After I fought back and she got beat up, do you know what this woman said to me? She said, if I had done this in the first place, if I had done this in the first place and put her in her place like this, if I had just beaten her, everything would have been much better off. people, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I just said? Again, let me repeat it. This woman said to me, if I had just beat her ass in the first place, like I should have, things would have been better between us. Okay, now let me tell you something, people. Alright? And you're going to be shocked. I don't know how many of you people have ever heard about this. But back home in Jamaica, there were many people who told me about women like this. There were many people. My father told me about. I've heard stories about women like this that want to get beaten. Because I've heard stories about women who said that if their men don't beat them, their men don't love them. I have heard these stories and it was ridiculous. But when it happened to me, I was shocked. I was freaking shocked. I was like, yo, is this woman for real? Is this woman really for real, yo? So anyway, you know, after the whole thing happened, I kid you not, for a whole week she was happy. You understand? I don't know if this was how she was testing my masculinity. I don't know if this was something that was attractive to her, but I started to dig. Look, let me tell you something. Her past life, her parents' life was messed up. You understand? But anyway, my thing is this, right? My thing is this, is that you have a lot of crazy women out there. You have women out there that wants to get their ass beat. And it was very shocking. And to me, I was taken back by it. I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy, 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 crazy. I thought it was extremely crazy. I was like, yo, I don't even want to touch it. Anyway, to conclude on this, we're going to go into, you know, how I felt and whatever. But, you know, I'll talk about what I felt in another video. But I just want to say that, you know, you have crazy women like that out there that want to get beaten by men and don't feel love unless their men beat them. And I did not want to be with this type of woman. Because I'm not this type of man. I don't want to beat on women. I don't like that type of feeling. And one thing that you have to understand about abusers is that they get power from the abuse that they give. It gives them power. It makes them feel powerful. Because they feel as if they have control over your life to do with as they please. That's how abusers are. That's the mindset that they have. And I've had relationships with 2 abusers in my life. You know, I've been abused different ways. You understand? In terms of like, you know, even mentally, emotionally. But, you know, I realized that physical abusers, their abuse is like a grasp for power. And this is how they are as people. Anyway, like I said before, it was very, very crazy. And I'm glad eventually it ended. I left. I was done with the relationship, told her it was over and stuff. I mean, how it ended is, you know, it's a story within itself, or how I finally got out of the relationship. And I'm just thankful to God that He took me out of the situation. And, you know, I met many women after her, and I met my wife. And I'm just thankful that it ended, because, you know, I could have ended up marrying somebody who either killed me or I killed her. And I think it's very important that we start talking about things like this, especially for men. The mentality of men, like what we go through as men when we are abused. What we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. and how we feel towards the person who is perpetrating the abuse upon us. It's something that I think society really needs to look into, but society does not care about men. It only cares about what men produce. So, stay blessed, people. Enough love and respect. This is the conclusion. I hope you enjoyed the story. There were many more things that happened in it. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got, what was going on, and I hope you take some lessons from what I experienced. I hope you guys never experience something like this, or experience the bad things that I experienced myself. It's not really something happy to go through. It's not something that you want to experience either. It's something that you can definitely do without in your life. So, like I said again, stay blessed. Enough love and respect. I'm out.